This is conceptuality15b. I want to just go back to this model here. From the 15a, we talked about this cube going across from between the faces of the octahedron because of the implosion of the tetrahedron. I didn't mention that this dimension is in terms of the octahedron is always the square root of some frequency of the square root of 2. It is always that way. And then in this case, we have defined this to be a 15 frequency octahedron, in which case this dimension is the square root of 50, or 5 times the square root of 2, and the diagonal across this cube right through here is 10, because I mean, it sounds complicated, and I just know all this off the top of my head because it's telling me as I look at it that this tetrahedron in here is the dimension of 6. So if this is the dimension of 6, this is 50. This is the square root of 50. This is 10 across here, and everything becomes completely whole number rational. It's really pretty amazing. Okay, now I wanted to go to back to our octet, our interpenetrated tetrahedrons. Here we go, the black one and the red one. Okay, now that is the tetrahedrons on the faces of the octahedron, right? So that is this black tetrahedron here, right? There's this one here, and then there's the red one here, and then here is the octahedron in the middle. Okay, so this octahedron is 1 frequency. The tetrahedron is 2 frequency. As we know, we've talked about this so many times, but I'm repeating. 2 frequency, 2 frequency. And obviously, we've put another tetrahedron on top of the face of the black tetrahedron. That's identical. So obviously, this is a 2 frequency tetrahedron also. Now, and then we do the same thing on the red tetrahedron. We put red tetrahedrons on each one of those faces, and we have this construction, right? We built it up from the octahedron, okay? And essentially, it's the same as this. We have that we showed you before. You know, this construction here, this thing in the middle, is this thing, okay? And it should be clear now what's the relationship. Now, these points, each one of these points is in the middle of the overarching octahedron, right? Here it is, the octahedron with that construction in the middle. So this is simply that very same thing with no octahedron around it, okay? But each one of these points is in the middle of the face of the octahedron. So, okay, now, then the thing that we talked about with the tetrastar, right, here's a tetrastar. It's a tetrahedron. Here's the little black tetrahedron with tetrahedrons on each face. This is the tetrastar. And we talked about this being essentially the idea of an organic structure. And it's not immediately apparent how this fits into the rational matrix except through this explanation, and that this tetrahedron with the tetrahedrons on each face is, you could just imagine this red tetrahedron right here with the red tetrahedrons on each face. That is exactly the tetrahedron with tetrahedrons on the face. Difference is this one is 2 frequency here, as we said before, with the octahedron in the middle and these tetrahedrons being 1 frequency. But this whole thing integrates into the same octahedron, right? And we told you that that had to happen at 5 frequency. So here we have a perfect model, easy to understand visualization of how the organic is rational to the inorganic in our prime considerations, in the very prime way that we can think conceptually. Okay? That's all I've got.